All right, let's call to order the Board of Supervisors work session for Thursday, November 13th. We're meeting in the Supervisors hearing room on Melody Lane in Bisbee. The order of deletion of any item on this agenda is subject to modification at the meeting. And any item listed is open for discussion. Please note that some attachments may be updated after the agenda is published, meaning presentation materials displayed at the board may differ slightly from the attached versions. Members of the Board of Supervisors may attend in person or remote conferencing. Members of the public may also attend via Microsoft Teams or a mobile app. Work sessions are a time for county staff to inform and discuss agenda items with the Board of Supervisors, and public comments will not be taken. We'll begin with a roll call. District 1. Not there?
Can you hear?
She's not seeing? All right. Mr. Crosby's absent for now. District 2.
Gomez is here.
And District 3, answer is here. 2 of the 3 supervisors are present and in person. All right, so first up, this is the review for Tuesday, right? What is this for?
So this is the agenda preview work session for November 18th
Right.
regular board meeting, as well as the library.
Oh, so it's for everything.
For
Okay.
everything. So we start off with the library district. They just on their agenda have to approve the minutes and demands on consent. And then the flood control district similarly is just consent with minutes and demands.
Right.
Jail district has a few items other than minutes and demands. One is a data sharing agreement between Arizona Complete Health and the Cochise County Sheriff's Office. This will help the jail medical area of our jail facility to access the Arizona Complete Health database and vendors and provide more continuity of care when people are released. So there's an agreement. We've had other agreements that we've done related to this data sharing, and this is the vendor side of it.
Okay.
And then there's an agreement to approve Arizona Department of Corrections rehabilitation and reentry. Canceling the agreement effective upon execution. I'm not sure that makes a lot of sense. Is anybody from the sheriff's office here? Is anybody from the sheriff's office online? I don't get that. Agreement. Yeah. So the amendment is to cancel the agreement. And I'm not sure.
What does that
It's not
do?
attached yet, so I'll have to look.
What do we lose by canceling this agreement?
Yeah. What was happening? I'll reach out to them and get more information.
It sounds like somebody stepped on somebody's toe and wants to shut this down type almost.
I apologize. I don't have enough information on that one. I was hoping
All right.
somebody from the sheriff's office.
All right.
You let us know before Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll give you more information. So then we move on to the Board of Supervisors regular meeting agenda, and on consent, we have, of course, the minutes. There's a pass-through agreement.
Chairman Antonori, just be aware Tom Crosby is online now.
Okay, let the record show Mr. Crosby present.
Yeah, I just
Hello.
pushed the wrong button. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Hello, Supervisor Crosby. We're on the regular Board of Supervisors meeting for November 18th, looking at the consent agenda. We get these occasionally for pass-through agreements with different fire districts. They get these grants through the Ak-Chin Indian community. The grant requires an entity like the county to be the pass-through. So these are very common that fire districts utilize.
Where is the Ak-Chin Indian community? And why do they care about the Mescal J6
They
Fire
get
District?
grants all over the
It's like
state.
the Tahuna Odom, you can apply, and it's from, probably the casino money,
Mhm.
and they.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Like
they
the
give-
percentage
they
of
have to
their-
give it out, yeah.
Okay. It's like, why would they care?
So what is it for, do you know? I mean, it's a nice chunk of, do they tell you what the?
It will be in that grant application, yeah. which will be
Okay,
used.
they'll tell you what
Mhm.
it's going to be used for.
And then number 3, later today, should the board canvass the jail the board of directors of the jail district canvass the election for the jail district, then number 3 comes into effect where the board of supervisors acknowledges the receipt of that.
As we discussed yesterday.
Yeah. Um, County schools supervisor, or sorry, school superintendent, Jackie Clay is here for the IDEA grant. She also has items on the action 11 and 12. So if you'd like to hear from her on all those items, you can hit 4, 11, and 12.
Yeah, come on up. It's like
This is
4, 11, and 12.
Mhm.
Okay. Get your, just sit there at the end if you want. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got it?
Oh, yeah.
I'm
gonna have it sit at the other head of the table.
So they can get
Like
used to.
this, okay. All right, so
Number 4?
a whopping $884.
Woo-hoo.
So-
Yes, sir. The IDEA grant, this is for the jail. We have students from 10 to 2 students in the jail at all times. But this money would most likely go to the conference that we have to send them to, which is the ACE conference, which is the,
Oh, okay. Okay, this is for training or something.
yes,
Yeah, for your providers,
yes.
teachers, whatever. The
Whoever our teacher is right
Okay.
now, that's just to let you know, it's very hard to attain teachers. So we're trying to make it work as best.
Do they have to be accredited or certified?
It should be a certified teacher.
Certified teacher.
And right now, it's part-time. And we would like that person to be bilingual if possible, because 99.99% of our students in jail speak Spanish,
Mm.
and some of them are not bilingual at all.
Mm.
So right now, me and the sheriff, we've been very purposely looking for people for that position.
The woes of a small population just continue to bite us.
Everywhere.
Absolutely. So I do have 2 people we're making it work now. But we're still looking, and the students
Okay.
are receiving the education that they need and the care that they need. We have one that's a special needs. So it does become challenging, but we make it work.
Can't find a retired school teacher somewhere that wants to just do a couple hours on the side.
We're trying to shake the trees.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So next one is 11.
Okay.
This one's a decent chunk of change.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened here, we mistakenly charged Bisbee $51,000 for indirect services. We usually give services to all the schools, and all that money goes into the general fund. Okay, we didn't realize that until FY23. And that was when Bisbee, the new Bisbee Soup, said, hey, you billed us too much. And we found that out, and
He caught that? Or-
yes, he caught it. We didn't catch it.
Okay.
And usually when we bill, somebody catches it, but no one caught it for 2 years.
So that's 2 years worth of.
Just in FY23, the amount of.
Oh, so that's just 23.
Yes, it was a mistake.
So how about 24?
Oh, we're good. This was just a 1 year. This was just a 1 year thing.
Oh,
So,
they just hadn't caught it for 2 years.
yes.
It
So
just happened 1 year.
it happened 1 year. And just to let you know, we have put things, soon as we found this out, now we
You
have 2
fixed it.
people. We have 2 people looking at everything.
What was it for? I mean,
Basically, we provide services to the school districts. One of them is reconciliations, processing certificates, et cetera, et cetera. So that money that comes to us really goes back to you guys in the general fund. So when the bill was sent out, it was more than it should be.
Okay. All right.
So an option could have been to take it off future billings, but they need their money back rather than taking it off.
And they were really nice about it.
I have a question, Mr. Chair. How was that error discovered?
The
superintendent, yeah, go ahead.
the superintendent of Bisbee discovered it.
You good, Tom?
Sure.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know if you wanted to follow.
I was just wondering why did they happen to be looking for it, you know? But I guess they're just very
Well,
thorough.
when I'll tell you why, because
you don't
when
have
the
the money.
budgets are tight and you're
Yes.
searching the couch cushions
And that's what happened.
for every nickel and dime that you can find to make budget and pay your people, you find these, oh, look at the county overbilled us.
Yes.
There's an extra 50 grand we can use. That's probably how it happened. So call the county, tell them we want our 51 grand back. So that's,
Oh,
okay.
somebody's minding their P's and Q's, as they say.
Yep, somebody got it. All right. IGA,
And we're going to have Miss Cynthia and a young man on her team. His name is Zachary. He's going to go ahead and give you a presentation really quick
okay.
on that. Do we have the slides? If not, okay, no, not a problem.
So this is an internal governmental agreement with ADE. We were chosen as the pilot county for a suicide prevention programming for developing suicide prevention education in schools throughout Arizona. This will be the second year of the grant. In terms of the funding coming in, the only thing that's different this year is we added an extra $30,654 for materials. Before ADE was ordering the training materials and sending them to us, but we had some hiccups with that. So they've added that money to the IGA so that we can actually order the training materials on our own and not have to go through ADE. And this is Zachary Pluckus. He is the grant manager. So I'm going to let him just give you an update on some of the success that we've had with the funding over this past year.
Thank you, Cynthia. Good morning, President of the Board, members of the board. So we've had the pleasure of serving in 3 different school districts. Currently, we've been to Bisbee. We trained 18 of their students and then 2 of their staff members. Benson High School, we trained 18 of their students, 2 of their staff members. We went to Elfrida, we trained 18 of their students, then we trained, I think it was 13 of their staff members, and then we brought in a couple other people that could sit in on the training. And then we went to Elfrida, Elfrida had 13, and Benson, Valley Union had 20.
Is this because of there's unfortunately that recent suicide in Benson, right? Is that?
There was, this wasn't part of it. They'd been in the works for the grant
Oh,
before
okay.
that had happened. But they did ask, they inquired for more information, and that's why we brought the information to them.
Okay.
You know, Douglas had a suicide too, not too long ago.
Yes.
And so are they going to be brought into?
Well, basically when something like this happens, the superintendent gets with us. We're very low keyed about it.
Sure.
They get with us, and we bring the teams together, either whatever they need. We quietly go into the schools, give training, give counseling, or whatever, bring the dogs in, the therapy dogs in, but that's done at a very super low key.
So did they do it in Douglas? And after that, young man committed suicide?
Yes.
Yes, we worked with the Sheriff's Office care team and we brought in some wraparound support and therapy dogs.
Yes.
So then, are you going to extend this to other schools?
It's for the whole county.
Yeah, it's open to the whole county. It's just, this is.
You're just
progress.
you're making your rounds now.
Yeah,
So
these are
they
the ones
started
that
in
I've been to.
Benson.
Yeah, these are the ones that have asked for me to come on board.
Does the Sierra Vista School District, because it's so big, have their own?
They do, but they work with us.
Okay.
Okay, they have, because they've been doing it way before we started
Right,
doing it
right.
as a county.
Right.
So definitely they're our partners, but when things happen, they let us know, and they're also open to training.
And this concerns me when you say they ask, right? So they have to ask you.
No, I'm sorry. That was a miscommunication on my part. We reach out to all the schools, let them know what we have available for them. But like, for example, Benson did ask specifically when we were starting this so that way they could get on first because they had that incident with the student.
Right.
And then Valley Union was going through a few things and they requested specifically that we get out there and we train Elfrida, Valley Union, their teachers, the students, everybody. So they specifically were like, hey, like, let's get trainings ASAP. And then we even did a training with the Sheriff's Department at the jail. Which was very, I think it was very informative and very, it was good for the community because it gave us an insight on what they do and also them a little insight on what we do as well.
Okay. But I just want to let you know, though, we let them know that we have it. they have to ask us. We can't go in there and say, we're the county and because
Problem, this doesn't time to ask you for anything. So I know the principal of the city council, so I'll talk to her, and then I have my brother-in-law's on the school board, but.
they know,
They
they
know.
know, they all know. Think of us as we have a big toolbox and we do this.
You gotta ask for the rent.
We open it up, but we meet with all the leaders once a month, the whole county. So they know every single thing that we're doing. They know everything we have to offer. So,
So
it
this
has
is
to be-
us paying the 146 to
No.
chip in for the IGA?
No.
We're receiving that. one.
Oh, we're getting
Yes.
one.
Yes, they received a federal grant, and as part of that federal grant, we have a contract
All right.
with them for that funding there for the 148.
years.
So
So,
Mr. Chair, I have a comment
The
and
5-year
question,
grant.
Crosby.
sure, Tom, go ahead.
Back, I guess it was last month, perhaps it was Commander Watkins from the Sheriff's Office that came to the Marine Corps League and presented about the CARE program, and I appreciated that very much. And the CARE program was mentioned as a dovetail for this program, I do believe. And I think that I heard the name Cynthia as a presenter today, and I missed the name of the gentleman at the opposite end of the table from you, Frank. But what I wanted to know was, I read this item in Agenda Quick, and there was two things. One, two terms: evidence-based and culturally relevant. And anybody that wants to talk about how is this program evidence-based and culturally relevant, I would like to know that.
Very solid question. So the evidence.
Wait, say your name again one time.
Sorry. Yes, sir. So my name is Zachary Plukas, former Marine as well. So I used to the Marine Corps League.
Zachary
Plukas? Yes. So it's an evidence-based program. What that means is that it's been through the scrutiny of making sure that what they're talking about works. It's gotten proven facts that they went through studies and made sure that everything was proper and appropriate with the program, and that it wasn't going to cause any more trauma to somebody coming in, learning about suicide, but it also providing enough information that it is becoming educational and it proven to work and be a productive toolkit that we can use. Now, the culturally, what was the word you used? Cultural
Relevant?
Relevant, because it teaches us, it helps everybody understand that different cultures have different perspectives on things. So per se, looking you in the eyes consistently might seem disrespectful in a certain culture, but in my culture, it's a sign of respect. So it's keeping with the understanding that different cultures have different understandings and different meanings of things. So you don't come in with a cultural bias and accidentally set somebody off or tune somebody off to the topic of suicide. Specifically, when you deal with the tribal community, they have a different understanding of suicide. And even in a setting where you're talking about just expressing, are you having thoughts of suicide? That is against what they believe. So they have to have certain things, like they'd have to have like the different grassweed, the different elements that they use to show that it's a sign to the spirits, that it's just a training. It's not for like they're not actually thinking of suicide. So in keeping that and understanding, that's what it talks about with being the cultural competency there.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Flukas.
Yes, sir.
yeah, and just also with this particular grant, we as a county were chosen as a pilot, but they are also doing a pilot in the indigenous communities in Arizona. We just don't happen to have one in Cochise County, but the other part of that grant is another pilot area working with the indigenous communities in Arizona.
So the last speaker, was that Ms. Madden or was that Cynthia?
That would be Cynthia, sir.
Okay, thank you.
And then I just wanted to share as well on the back of the pamphlet that I gave you, the packet that Cynthia Dr. Clay gave you. It has our standings of where we are as a county in comparison to other counties for suicidal rates. And those numbers are in the for every 100,000 persons as well. And then the reasons behind like how they suicided. And just to show you like with our other programs that we're rolling out with Signs of Suicide and Sandy Hook Promise, that we are trying to target the lethal means reduction as well as part of our suicide prevention plan.
That's
29 for every 100,000. So we have 140,000 approximately in Cochise County. So it equals just over 48.
48.
Yes.
who have committed suicide?
Yes. Who have died by suicide. Yes.
That's in given years?
So 2023 was the most updated information I was able to pull. Here shortly, we should be able to get 2025s or 2024s.
So, Mr. Flukas, if I could just jump in here, could you explain the process of trying to find people that might commit suicide?
We don't try to find them necessarily. What we do is in the program that I teach, the Safe Talk specifically, it helps you identify the verbiage, the body language, the different expressions, the feelings they might give you based off of their reactions to things. Also looking at the signs of what's typical of someone that might be thinking of suicide, like giving away their items or becoming secluded, or if you're normally an overly hyper person, you might be calm and collected. Those things. Also getting comfortable with the actual verbiage of asking somebody, are you having thoughts of suicide? Are you thinking of suicide? Because that can be very uncomfortable. And then whereas the assist training, we go into the actual intervention piece where we'd actually escort that person to help and resiliency and to get the actual maybe clinical care that they need. And then those younger, like the Sandy Hook Promise, that there's 860 courses that are in there that can help at a teacher level where they could talk about, hey, you know what, today we're being a little rambunctious. Maybe we should talk about different etiquettes. And it has those classes in there where they can present that as a micro learning. And then the signs of suicide that actually has that the same concept, but for the junior high and high school students.
Thank you. I would suggest that besides seclusion, you look for the tendency to be to reduce the size of their group and their tribe, because that's just a step on the way to seclusion, at which time the person is the most isolated and the most vulnerable. So have you thought about that at all, as far as I called it tribalism, but just on the way to being secluded, you're gonna have a smaller and smaller group of friends.
Yes.
Is there a step that you're looking for like that?
In the training, we really, the seclusion piece in its own, we try to have people recognize when someone is secluding, so that way they could actually talk to them about the thoughts and ideas behind suicide.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if you understood the point that I was trying to make was reducing the size of your interaction circle, and as a step towards total seclusion is what I was getting at as a sign that I would be looking for.
Yes, absolutely. I
point.
understood that part of it. We just that's not a specific. I mean, it's in the training, like seclusion in itself, but
Right.
not the size of your circle piece is not part of that training. But I can add it in there.
And
Yeah,
also,
Go ahead.
but the other piece of that too is the training of teachers and helping the teachers have the tools to recognize something like that. So if you have a child that has usually a large friend group and that friend group is getting smaller and getting withdrawn, teachers by going through these trainings will be able to recognize those behaviors in the student and have those conversations regarding
How
suicide.
about direct education to the students themselves for options, right? Say if you're feeling this or feeling that, call this number or reach out to this person or
Correct.
go
And
see the nurse.
We have that availability as well. So we can go with the Safe Talk, we can go as low as 15 years of age. Assist, we can go as young as 16.
Why is that?
Because the topic of discussion is not age appropriate.
Who makes that determination?
Not me. Someone at a higher pay grade. But what it is it's
But it's not based on the degree of age of suicide. It's if you have 13-year-olds killing themselves,
correct.
then one would think the logic would be you would slide that to the right so you can cover that population.
So
Somebody just arbitrarily says, oh, we're not going to talk to anybody under 15?
no, so this specific training itself does not go under 15 and 16
Okay.
because what it gets into, right? It could cause trauma, even third-party trauma for a student hearing about, well, if you've ever heard of war stories, they can cause trauma to other people as well, right? You can get PTSD by way of hearing about someone's PTSD. But
I never knew that.
it's a fact. Yes, look it up.
Dude, I've never been telling war
But when
stories.
we're looking at the evidence-based programs,
Yes.
they're really looking at the brain development of these children. And so that's where, they decide what's appropriate and not appropriate. When we're talking about the kids that are under 15, we start to look at addressing it from different angles, like healthy
training.
relationships, communication, and there's other tools that we use to do that.
I wish they would apply that rule to other things that they teach at school.
But just to let you know, we do have other programs for younger students.
I got you.
It's just that
That
these,
they've
what we're
talked
talking
about,
about right now
Yeah.
is for.
And then the Science of Suicide goes junior high and high school, and then the Sandy Hook Bombers goes third grade and up.
But yes, that is one of our biggest challenges. We are starting to see a lot of suicidal tendencies in the elementary schools, and figuring out how we're going to deal with that is a challenge.
And then the secondary challenge is getting the permission slip signed by the parents and that they want their
That
kid to
is really
hear about
big.
suicidal conversations. Yes.
And also to add, Zachary and Vivian,
Vivian.
Viviana, we have a YouTube channel where they're talking about age-appropriate ways to deal with different stresses, et cetera, et cetera. So we also have that as an extra. We have a YouTube channel.
Do they ever do podcasts? Because that seems to.
That's the thing, that's what it is.
It's the same thing,
Yeah.
because that seems to be the way.
That's what it is.
Yeah, so we started like a micro-learning podcast for that reason.
Just to clarify this data, is this all suicides in the county?
Yes, so
Okay,
no,
it's not-
yes, this is all suicide.
Right, it's not just
Correct.
kids in school.
Correct, yeah. This
Okay,
was
all right,
suicidal
so-
rate.
What is the actual number of kids?
I would have to look it up, but it's not very high.
Thank God.
Yeah, it's not very high, but that's why it was so hard to find. And I've worked with Rachel Rawlings on the Suicide Mortality Review Board as well to go over like the tendencies and the trends and things like that. But there's not many kids, and I can get that for next week for you, that number.
I was just curious because that kind of skews the perception a little bit with that
Got
number.
it.
Yes.
Because we're talking about going into schools here, and this is about
Everyone.
everybody.
And so that kind of caters on to the next part of it because we have our age group of 18 to 26, which is more for service members. And that's also to have those service members with lived experience of suicide, whether that be that they've had their own suicidal ideation or they've lost someone to suicide, be able to come and actually talk to the youth about it because they're in that age group where they actually are still in that, like we could still be friends type age group, but they're also in that role where they're in that respected position of authority, being in the military. So that's part of where we're working with Fort Huachuca and their family or their family team as well to work with our schools as well.
So just for clarification, this again is all
All
ages, all students.
Yeah.
Correct.
Not just children.
Yeah.
And we'll get those correct numbers by next week.
I was just curious because it's like that's a significant because we have 125,000 people, so that tells me 30 people killed themselves last year, and I know it wasn't. We didn't have 30 kids kill themselves.
No, correct.
Right. So
But it's
so
hit 48, right?
Yeah, it was about 48. Yes, when I did the math, it was about 48.
48.
Yeah, based on the 140,000 that we have for the population.
Oh, we don't have 140,000.
25.
125.
Mr. Chair, I got another additional comment, Crosby.
Sure.
That is that I have a corrections background, and in my experience, the most racially segregated place that I am aware of is the corrections environment. So when you're looking for somebody to go down a path towards seclusion, I would be looking for racial self-segregation as one sign.
Thank you
That
for that,
concludes
Pierce.
my comments.
We also, part of our grant is working with the juvenile delinquency system as well. And that's where we also, I just did the training at the jailhouse over here with the sheriff's department as well. So we're working with that group as well, even the older crowd in the jailhouse as well, because it's, no one's safe from suicide, even though our grant is more youth-based. We still, if anybody needs the training, we're going to provide it.
All right. Alrighty, we're good.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
All right, Beck. All right, elections, PCs,
Mhm.
one of each, okay.
And a resignation. The Democrat.
What, they don't give you names because of what?
Oh, it'll be attached.
Oh, at the,
On the final. Engineering and natural resources, there's a resolution to authorize adding Conaway Circle located in the Red Hawk 2 subdivision to the maintained road system. I believe this is part of their development agreement. But we do have
That's up by me. That's in the scout.
engineering.
It's in the scout, yeah.
so this was adding on. Right?
This is happening.
So this, have they finished that subdivision? Is that why they're doing that?
It's not finished. It's just,
Is that road full of houses?
no, it's only like 0.5 miles that they're adding on. It has been, built up to county standards. And once they are built, then that's when they can start adding houses.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I've got a question, point of inquiry.
Sure.
And that is, who names streets? And can the Board of Supervisors name streets?
Yeah, we can name streets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure about that, huh? Is that
So the
correct?
street that I live on, let me just tell you this little story. When I first bought my house, I live on Ladybug Lane. I hate that name. Everybody I talk to on the phone, oh, that's such a cute address. Oh, and it just drives me bonkers. So I actually explored it when I first moved out, it was like 8, 9, 10 years ago. I called somebody over in your office. I don't know who it was at the time. And they said, I can change the name too. I just got to get everybody on the street to sign up to agree. And so I started doing that. The house I knocked on, my neighbor, he told me he named the street because he was the first house and his granddaughter came up with the name. So that's why it's still Ladybug Lane to this day.
That was the end
So
of
I'll
that.
never get the name changed. So that's how the name of the street was, whoever the first guy was, I guess, that built the house and needed an address or certificate of occupancy was able to suggest the name of the road. So that's,
So there you go.
Here's,
Okay.
the contractor comes in, he's building the subdivision, right?
Mhm.
And we are required to, as part of this agreement, I mean, what do we get from paving this road?
I guess it's a part of like when the subdivision is approved,
Then we agree.
then we agree, yes, that's the,
They
once,
already-
once they, yeah,
Oh, we're taking over the maintenance? of it?
yes.
yeah.
And
So usually though, it's when, I get it, when the road is up to standard and
Okay.
somebody goes out engineering, blesses off on it and says, yep, it's standard, we'll now take it from here. But usually it's because there's like 15 houses on that road, right? There's a rationale. It's not just
So, and so that would be included in our, I mean, how do we get the money to pay for this? Is it, where do the fees come? Are they impact fees? I mean, I'm just trying to figure it out.
That comes, once it goes under maintenance, it's going to be part of her funds, part of a lot of money. But that,
So we're adding to more of us to maintain, and we're doing that because we like this subdivision. I'm just trying to figure this
Yeah, I
out.
gotcha.
Because we feel that we have the need to do it when we have
Usually-
200.
the logic is, again, houses are built, therefore your population has come up, therefore your HERF distribution is more because it's distributed by population. So that is the concept. But what's been happening is with these subdivisions, they build no houses or one house, and that's not sufficient.
And they decide, yeah, we don't get building more houses because we don't have the people.
Right, and then they want, then the residents on that road are like, okay, I got this road now, who's gonna take care of this road? So that's what I was, with the folks at the Baba Macari
Right.
subdivision in Whetstone, that's their big heartburn out there, right? So that's,
I believe with this, the Red Hawk, part of their subdivision approval when it came before the board was they had to bring the road up to standard first, then we bring it into the maintenance and they build the houses on it and they are ready to build those houses.
I gotcha.
Right, before the lots are released, that's we're at the stage now. They have to construct the road and the county accepts the maintenance for it.
So this is actually a good thing though, because that way that it prevents the incident in Bob Macari where those guys just bolted and none of the roads were, and there's houses built there on really bad roads in really bad shape.
Yeah, it's required by the subdivision regulations with a plat that you pave the roads and you do it to the county standards. As long as you do that, we can release the lots and then we accept the road once it's paved.
Yeah.
All right, well, build more houses there, more property tax revenue.
Let's just make sure they.
It's a half a mile, you said, a half a mile road?
0.5.
They're going to pave it.
It's already been.
paved, and then we're just going to occasionally pave it and maintain
Well, except in the maintenance, then it'll be part of it.
Once every 15 to 20 years, they'll chip seal.
Correct.
it. Okay, I can handle that.
All right. But it's fresh now.
Yes.
So it's 15 years before it needs to get touched.
Good. And we can build those houses.
As long as they keep the cement trucks off of it. That's
That's true, right?
Yeah.
You can build it, you can build all the houses and then isn't the road going to be
Yeah.
created?
Yeah, well, that's,
Yeah, that's 22.
I get the logic though. I get it because I mean, you get people that, all these abandoned subdivisions, they don't want to buy lots there because they go out there to look at the lot and the road's crap. And they're like,
Right.
well, when are they going to fix this road? Oh, they're not anytime soon. Well, I'm not buying a house there. I'll go buy a house somewhere else. So you can't sell the lot. So therefore you don't get the revenue from the property tax. You don't get the population credit for HERF and state shared revenue. So you got to find a way to get people to buy houses.
And these are all new people coming in.
And that's a nice subdivision too. These are $500,000 homes in that area. Yeah. So it's not, like double wides and stuff. So it's a decent area. It's going to be the bedroom community of the current bedroom community of Tucson, which is Vail. So as Vail gets absorbed into the city of Tucson, that will then move it out. So that's just over the line. It is literally, the Pima County line is like right there and it's just over the line. It's also where I hit my deer with my car. So anyways, I'll never forget. I'm traumatized by that. All right. Anyways,
Then we have public hearings. There's one public hearing to approve, deny, modify, or remand an appeal of a planning and zoning commission denial for special use authorization for a 30-space recreational vehicle park in Hereford. So as always with.
I saw the email on it.
Yeah, I got like about 12.
Yeah.
So we can't deliberate on that right now.
No, but can I just ask a question? Are they reading new information? Is that why they're appealing? Because the Planning and Zoning Commission voted it down, and now they're appealing, so there has to be, what are their basis of appealing?
They will be providing some additional information that was not really discussed in detail during the commission meeting.
Back to the planning.
Well, that's up to us to make that decision.
Oh, we have to make.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're gonna have that debate
yeah.
on Tuesday.
And if I may add,
He's just itching to do the first one. I could tell, so anyways. All right.
So agenda.
So that people, when they come to planning and zoning, they have all their information and not play this game.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Okay.
just wanted to add one thing too. The applicants did request that the board table this item.
They've what? I'm sorry?
They requested the board table the item.
Table?
They do. So I've encouraged them to call in next Tuesday for the public hearing, and in the event the board has questions or the board chooses not to grant the tabling and proceed with the public hearing.
So if they want to table it, is because they want more time, or what, why would that be? Or will it just go away if we table it?
You'll have to bring it back on a date certain, then you'll have
So
to.
they're
do
just
the public
preparing,
hearing.
whatever it is that they want to appeal on.
Correct.
Something like that. All right. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, sir. All right.
Then we have action item number 9. This was at the request
Yeah.
of Supervisor Antonelli to do the Old Ranch Road
I
resolution.
received all the paperwork.
The board can.
We'll have a chat about that one. as well.
You're sure to have public comment as well.
Yeah.
County Attorney's Office has brought forth the Crime Victim Assistance Program grant. This is an annual grant that they receive. It fluctuates in the amount, but it is in the amount of $96,667 this year, and there will be match funds from the county of $24,167, which will come out of contingency. So we'll need your approval for that. Actually, no, it doesn't come out of contingency. We found money elsewhere to match it. So,
And I'm sorry, the 24,000.
yeah, the 24,000.
No. Okay.
And then we have gone over 11 and 12. And then number 13 is a resolution to recognize Howard G. Buffett and the Howard G. Buffett Foundation for their philanthropic contributions.
And that'll be at the Tombstone.
This will be the resolution that you approve
Yeah.
on Tuesday.
And then you do that.
Okay, gotcha.
And then court administration has an item. This is fairly routine where the board has to certify the revenues collected. Anybody from court administration? No, I don't. It is.
Sincere.
I'm sorry, no, I didn't see it back there. Do you have anything to add to this item? No.
Yeah, I'm voting in for, good morning, members of the board. I'm filling in for Rita Shipley today, and this is something that we do yearly for the certification, and this was enacted in 1999 by the Arizona legislature. This is a law enhancing collections in the courts, setting forth the allocation of those revenues to criminal justice entities. And so we do have a 5% of the revenues that are collected by the courts that we set aside, and until the determination of all the year's revenues are completed, then we go by the baseline from that was established in 1998. If we have exceeded that baseline today, then we do the certification to do the disbursements to the criminal justice entities.
Is it indexed for inflation, that baseline? Or are you going off in 1998?
We are, and the state has never changed that baseline, and that's what we have always used. Since we can't make that change on our own, since it is tied to that statute.
It's just, I don't know, why? Somebody needs to put something on the ballot that says anything that is passed is indexed for inflation, so that you don't have this going all the way back to like 1990 with the HERF revenue, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there's got to be something.
And this initiative is the Fill the Gap.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Are there?
5%.
Yes, the
Yeah,
5%
set
set
aside,
aside.
you're just going to spend it on.
Yes. Mhm.
All right.
Are there additional questions or anything that I
Thank
can?
you.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I'm getting nervous when I see all this making roads, and paving roads. So what is this next one? Is that 15 one? Did I skip something?
Yeah.
No, you're fine. You're number 15. So I'm going to ask Matthew to explain this one.
Sure. This is a very small 8-lot residential subdivision in Palmyra. RU4 zoning, 4-acre lots. The applicant has requested a waiver not to pave a private road. The private road measures approximately a quarter mile, maybe a little less. In return, he is willing to hard surface an apron on San Pedro Ranch Road at Pomerine Road. Pomerine is paved. San Pedro Ranch Road is not paved. So, I mean, it seems a little impractical for us to go from a paved surface to an unpaved surface to another paved surface. So the applicant has asked for that waiver, and we would like to accommodate that request.
So you didn't say that they never can get it paved? I mean, they're agreeing not to have it paved, right? They don't want it paved, that one section. Is that what I'm trying to understand?
Correct. They're requesting a waiver from paving that section of their road.
And they've got,
There are other homes on the road.
I'm-
But that would be immaterial to them because they take access directly to San Pedro Ranch Road. So they wouldn't be driving through this new development.
They would not.
They would not.
But so it's only people that are on this road that would drive through this unpaved area, so.
And they're claiming they're going to assume the maintenance of that
That's correct.
dirt road?
That's a requirement of the zoning regulations.
And so what happens? So is this any time?
They're going to have like a road maintenance agreement or something, right?
And it's a requirement of the subdivision regulations that they
Yeah.
do that. It'll be mandatory.
Because I was, when do they come back to us and say, hey, no, we want you to pave the road? And this would be something that would be, forever?
It's a private road. And if they want it taken into the county maintenance system, they'll have to build it to county standards, which they won't.
No.
The new subdivision.
New subdivision, they want a waiver so that we don't ever pave it.
They can't, so that they don't have to pave it.
So that they don't,
private.
I can't, private roads.
So what's the name of it again?
San Pedro Ranch Estates, sir.
What's the name of the road?
What's
You
that?
don't want people traveling?
The road. What's the name of the road?
The road, it's yet to be named.
Yet to be named.
Yes, to be determined.
If they make this choice now, and I don't know, were we thinking of paving it? Or we were making them pave it? That's what they want. They don't want to pave it because it's a cost. They want to keep it.
Exactly.
Paid. So, no.
So correct me if I'm wrong on this one, just like the previous subdivision where they paved it, now we're taking over. This one, they don't want to pave it, and they just want to keep it a private road and not ever turn it over to county maintenance.
Correct.
Ever?
Oh,
Or down the
never
road?
say ever.
So what I'm just saying is that
Trying to find out where this is.
It'll be designated
It's
as a
at,
private road, and if they wanted to come back and make.
Pomeranian and San Pedro Ranch.
That'd be a whole process they'd have to go through to do that. There's nothing that's going to keep.
Just off
them
Pomeranian
back.
Road.
It's off the Pomeranian Road?
Right, just north of the highway.
It's a subdivision. It's a new subdivision that hasn't been created yet.
okay,
But
so
where is it? That's what I'm trying to get.
It's on Pomeranian Road.
Yeah.
It's north of the freeway, and there's a section that takes a pretty sweeping turn to the west. It's
Right.
right on that turn.
Oh, you know what?
they don't want to pave it.
That's
They don't want
the section of road that I talked to Fazio about, that all that water's running off and washing out. There's the culverts on Pomeranian Road, and then there's that subdivision is in a wash. It is in a very broad wash. The wash is a very wide wash, and what this guy's doing, he's building up the sites for the houses, and what that's doing is it's channeling the water into a narrow corridor, increasing the velocity, and that water is now flying down and tearing up those two culverts on Pomeranian Road. Because that was what I went out there during the monsoon, and they were showing me the damage that was being caused out there. And the people on the other side of the street, then that water channels in, and there's a section of old, what's the road that's there? It's like old, oh God, old something road. It's the name of it. Old Pomeranian Road. Yeah, that's what it was. Old Pomeranian Road. There's an old bridge there, and then that water's hitting that bridge, and this bridge is blasting out in two directions. It's eating the road out underneath Old Pomeranian Road. The guy that lives there has been hiring a guy with a bobcat after every monsoon season to go fill the hole back in that's being dug there. But that's I know exactly where this is now. And I know exactly why he doesn't want to have that road paved now.
It would be too costly.
No, because it's in a wash.
So if he paves it, he's going to have to constantly be paving it up.
Yeah, it's going to get ripped up or something. Or he would have to put a culvert in. He probably can't get Jackie to let him put a culvert in. I would bet you. There's more to the story here.
Mhm. Yeah, that is so weird. I mean, it feels.
I know exactly where that. So here, let me show you. So this is the road he's talking about right here,
Okay.
right? So
Is
look
there more in the-
at where this is. That is the
Right there, but
This is the wash that comes down. This is all, it used to just flow shallow, right? It
Right.
was like a real shallow wash, but now, so he's building all these, you can see where he's built, see how he's raising the,
yes.
so now it's channeling the water, and then the water hits.
Where's Hargis Road or that one road that all those people were talking about until, is it Hargis Road, Hargis Ranch Road that's going to be right there, right?
No.
No.
This is insurance.
No, this is north or south? I gotta go do.
But anyways, this is what, so there's two culverts here. There's one higher and then there's this one here. This one here is getting creamed.
So I think it sounds like a good idea to have flood control as well in this conversation.
Yeah.
For
Yeah, so that's a paper.
Tuesday.
That's Pomerine, and this culvert here is getting washed out, and then there's this culvert.
So if you're details here, I'll say.
Where's that?
And so like one of these
No.
ones are the ones he doesn't want.
This is the one he doesn't want to pay.
Gosh.
It runs right through the wash.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's almost right in the middle.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So Christine has.
Oh, Christine's here. All right. Good.
Yeah, so what this is, it's approval for a plat, an 8-lot subdivision. If they were to proceed under a minor land division, that would be 5 lots. They would not be required to do a drainage analysis, assurance agreements, any.
How we get stuck.
They have decided to go through the platting process, which is this. And in order to get this plat approved, they do require a waiver from that one provision. They have indicated if they need to pave the road, it would be cost prohibitive and they would not proceed with the subdivision.
Let's see.
They have provided rationale and a written waiver request for your
Now is that it all impacts how the water flows and it impacts other people. So, I mean, that's the issue. How does it impact the neighbors too? Or it would
So
just.
this is where, again, I brought this up with Fazio and Jackie about this problem, particularly that subdivision that this guy's doing. I'm not against this guy, I want to be clear, putting houses in there, but we've got to do something with Pomerine Road to protect Pomerine Road. Either we got to expand the northern culvert, which is overwhelmed and it flows over the road because that culvert can't handle the water now. And then the other one that's south of there, it's getting washed out where the water's going around the concrete and it's going to wash out. So it's putting the road at risk. But this isn't necessarily related to the road. This is related to him building those houses because he's raising.
But they are offering to do as an offsite improvement, the apron from the dirt road, which is
But if that,
San Pedro Ranch. Well, we have the opportunity to make stormwater improvements
You
potentially.
just got to do something with the water there. That's the.
I know it's gone through the flood control process already,
Yes.
but we could have them here on Tuesday.
But that's just for the road, right? They just,
No, but what they've analyzed is the 40 acres that the subdivision will be on for offsite impacts. If you were to construct 8 houses in a dirt
this
road.
is a good spot for putting in the gabion walls.
I just think that, we obviously with all those people, they attended, there's issues on how the subdivisions are being designed and how water is impacting, how it impacts the flow of whatever monsoon season. So we have to start thinking of ways in which we can stop these issues. And maybe it's having to look at how does the water drain, where can we help it so that it doesn't wash out these roads or all go in one direction because it's been altered. Right? I mean, that's what Jackie always tells me. Water flows a certain way and you alter it, you're going to have, so we have to look at that. And I don't.
And I believe they have looked at that, but we'll make sure they're here on Tuesday to discuss the details.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I got the pictures. People email me the pictures of Pomerine Road and that section of Pomerine Road and how it was just overwhelmed.
Yep.
And that may be one rainstorm out every year, but it's at least once a year that road gets flooded. And it's because they've been channeling, as houses are getting built up there, they're altering what was a very flat wash. And so what used to be spread out and maybe perk down is now being, the channel is being narrowed, so it's increasing the velocity. But again, this is where I said further upstream, we could put one of those gabion projects and just go upstream a little bit. But I mean, that's another discussion. But Pomerine Road is at risk. Right? And you can go out there now and look at them. Those culverts are getting washed out. The water is going around the concrete and tunneling out there. So it's something that needs to be addressed like in the next year or two, or else we're going to have problems. And then they got to go rip that whole bridge down.
I think she's in design.
She is. She is already looking at Pomerine Road.
And then I know Fazio said he was trying to go talk to whoever owns that bridge because it was a private bridge that went across to a driveway, I guess. But that bridge has to come down because it's literally acting like a rudder to divert the water. And but that's all related to that section there. I knew it sounded familiar. I was like, yes. All right. I'm interested to hear from her on Tuesday.
And that's my district, isn't it?
No, it's mine.
Oh, good.
No, yeah. It's north of I-10. It's on the, no, but I mean, I've talked to a couple folks out there that are concerned about it. And so, and Fascio's aware of it and Jackie's aware of it. So getting that fixed. All right. Oh, I guess you're next up.
It's me.
Oh, she's got are you just a regular RN or a licensed nurse practitioner?
No, she's our RN.
Yeah,
And
licensed
clinical
RN.
In where?
Director of Clinical Services.
Oh,
health department.
oh, the health department. Oh. We're looking for, we're looking for, very motivated RNs willing to step up and take on additional stuff. No, just saying. All right.
Perfect. Well, today I'm requesting approval for IGA between ADHS and the county for sexually transmitted infection investigations. This one was previously approved. It was just slightly amended to include a change in how we conduct the laboratory services for specimens that we're sending out. But this allows us to track and surveil and follow up on chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis cases throughout the county, particularly congenital syphilis, which is a really large issue in the state and the county.
Does this break down into age groups?
Yeah, so it's going to be anyone over 15 years of age.
Do they look at senior citizens? Well, I understand this is the highest.
You're talking about the villages in Florida.
I'm talking about not even Arizona.
Yeah.
That over is it 50? The population over 50, 55?
Yeah, 65 and above. We definitely see high rates.
Yeah, I know, because I saw that story on, I can't remember what TV show it was, 60 Minutes or something, talking about this explosion of sexually transmitted diseases in these 55 and older
That was 10
communities.
years ago, so it hasn't stopped. It just keeps on.
Definitely a prevalent concern.
Yeah, okay. You married? Yes, I'm joking.
Perfect.
So much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next grant for the health department or in IGA is for WIC and breastfeeding counselors programs.
I'm not saying nothing, I already said my piece on this. Got it.
So this is a pretty straightforward IGA. We've had it in place for many, many years. And this will just continue to provide nutrition education and food benefits to low-income families.
Breastfeeding is good.
Yeah.
Encourage it, encourage it, encourage it, encourage it. Yep.
Yeah.
There you go, Frank.
Yeah.
And so that wraps up. If there's any discussion on Tuesday about federal legislative.
I guess the government's not going to open till tomorrow, even though they passed it last night.
I thought today.
Oh, was it today? Did they say they were going to?
You signed it, Trump signed it last night.
Some people will return to work today.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, cool. Cool. So that's over until January 30th.
Until January 3rd. But they did do provisions to certain positions will continue to be funded through September,
Okay.
even in a future.
All right.
Mr. Chair, if it's appropriate at this time, I would like to query our staff about item number 9, which is Old Ranch Road, unless you prefer to wait until the day of for all discussion about Old Ranch Road.
Jackie's not here, so I don't know who.
Left already. That was going to answer it. They'd already left. They thought that was over.
All right.
Okay,
So-
I still got a couple questions unless, well.
No, keep
first
going,
of all,
keep going.
There's no resolution posted yet, so.
I know, because it was still being drafted. Is she finished with it?
Yeah, it'll be posted on Friday.
Okay.
All right.
So I would like to know, what are the suggested input
It is-
from the,
Oh, sorry, Supervisor Crosby, it is
Yeah.
in the draft. It is attached to the draft agenda. If you're looking at
Okay.
agenda.
I'll look at it. I didn't see it, so
Yeah,
I
I'll-
just overlooked it. So I would like to know what are the suggestions and or input from the Arizona Land Department and the U.S. Forest Service about this issue? And then I have one other staff related question, which has to do with law enforcement to request proof of recreational permit on that road. In other words, if the sheriff's office doesn't want to do it and no other form of law enforcement, and I'm not saying the sheriff's office doesn't want to do it, but we need to look into that because as a department that the sheriff's office should be questioned or about at least that issue. Who's going to enforce?
I got with Congressman Ciscomani's office on this and the Forest Service. There was a suggestion that they can extend Lizard Road out to create alternate access. The Forest Service is not even considering that as a possibility. So there is no alternate access route available, and the Forest Service is not going to make a road to create one. So that leads us back to where we're at, that this is the only road that accesses that part of the national forest. And you do not need a permit to access the national forest. It does go through state trust land, however, on its way to the national forest. And as long as you don't leave the road and go on to state trust land, you don't need a permit, as far as I understand, to go on to state trust land if you're just driving through the road. That's so like every road you drive down, you have state trust land on each side. You don't need a permit to drive down the road. So creating an criteria for access would be a problem on that road because people don't have to have permits to go down that road. And it is designated a county highway.
Okay, I got just a little bit lost there about, I don't know if you could repeat that succinctly or.
Yeah, so the question is, they want to restrict the traffic only to people that have a state trust land permit or a hunting license. And the problem with that is that the land department does not require that as long as you don't leave the road, number one. Number two is you do not need a permit to access the national forest. And that road is also the only road that grants access to the national forest. So that's the problem. There is no mechanism for restricting traffic down that road.
Okay, so
there's nothing to enforce. Even if you put a deputy out there, he can't do anything. He can't because people have a right to go down that road under, I forgot, Jackie knows it's RAC something or other. There's a federal access thing that says that federal land with an established road, you can't deny access or something. I forgot what that is off the top of my head. And that's the part that Mr. Schmidt and maybe those other guys have a little heartburn with on that, but that's the deal. You can't cut off access to the forest if there's a road that provides access. It's not a forest road until it leaves state trust land. After it leaves state trust land, then it becomes a numbered forest road. So that's it. So that's the problem. I wish I could show you the map on this road. So this road, it's private land for a quarter mile. It goes through 3 private parcels. And then it turns into state trust land for like a mile. And then it turns into forest.
There is a presentation that will have that map that calls out exactly what lands what.
Right. So that's the challenge is there is no way to legally limit access down that road because everyone has the right to go down that road. That's the problem. There are some that don't want that, and I get the other side of the story because I talked to Mr. Schmidt and I get where he's coming from, but.
Okay, so you mentioned when you're talking about this is the problem, I believe that what you're saying is the problem is that part of it or the first part of it is a private road. Is that correct?
Correct.
Well, it's a county.
It's a county highway that goes through private property. It has been designated a county highway since like 1894 or something.
Right. Okay. So has anybody looked into the State Enabling Act and see if anything's covered in the State Enabling Act that has anything to do with that?
As far as the state trust land goes?
No, as far
'Cause
as
that's-
what happens to, what did you call it, a county highway?
Yeah, it's a county highway.
Okay, so what happens to something designated as a county highway as when the State Enabling Act happens?
Well, the State Enabling Act only allowed for state trust land. The Enabling Act was for state trust land, so I'm not getting the point.
So I think the one you're referring to is that the roads that were on the ground at the time maintained and became, or were public highways at the time. And I think the presentation covers that in detail on when that happened. But I'll verify that it is in fact the State Enabling Act that we have in the documentation as well.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Casey. And in addition, is the presentation that you're talking about with the maps and so on the draft agenda that is publicly posted for today?
It is.
Oh, it is?
Okay.
Something too. I'll have to look at that too.
I'll take a look at it also.
It's in agenda quick with the draft.
So just so you're aware, there was an incident that occurred out there that created this problem involving the sheriff's office and an individual out there that resulted in some legal action. And so that's what's created this issue. Just so we can go into more detail about that if you want.
Okay.
But-
If I could ask Mr. Casey again, I know you just said it's on agenda quick. Is it also on today's agenda for this upcoming meeting that is
No.
publicly posted?
It'll be posted on Friday.
Okay. That concludes my comments. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
I just want to bring the board's attention to the one meeting on Tuesday, November 18th at 2 o'clock. So after we're done with all the board meetings and we take our lunch break, come back at 2 for the Board of Equalization to ratify the decisions of the hearing officer. So that'll be, an exhibit will be attached to the agenda for that. And the assessor will be here as well.
What is the situation now with the animal shelter? Because, last night Douglas presented something, I have to say, it was totally different than what I heard. So we could be talking, and that was I couldn't believe it. I was sitting there going, yeah, what is this guy coming, the police officer, right? Or the chief of police, totally different thing. So we
need to reschedule that work session because we were waiting for the government to reopen so I can have some information from the USDA. And then I'm also still negotiating the IGA with Douglas regarding those animal shelters.
I want as little dogs as possible in Douglas. That we are, right now we have 25 dogs there. So yeah, anyway.
Did you want a future agenda item or something?
Yeah.
On a work session on
the animal
all right.
shelter.
All right.
And then, I don't know, how are we talking about how we're going to go up to lobby for her funds and all that kind of stuff? I mean, how do we discuss our lobbying schedule or effort or whatever?
That's a good question.
I think you could do that in
Especially
the
with open meetings law.
legislative matters section of the agenda.
No, because that's
Or do you want to just, are you talking about like when you're?
She's talking about, again, the wonderful
meetings
open meeting law.
Yeah.
If she and I want to sit down and discuss strategies to lobby not our members of the legislature, other members of the legislature from other
Right.
districts and stuff, what would that be? So we don't want that, since we're not executing anything that's related to public thing, why can't she and I have that discussion, just she and I? That's what Kathleen's getting at, which I agree with her 100%. And that was back to what we said was the problem with this, is that if I want to talk political strategy that is not related to an official action in this county, how do I have discussions with my colleagues discussing politics? Because I want to include Mr. Crosby too in this, right? So three of us want to say, hey, how do we engage the legislature to approach this topic that's near and dear to hearts, which is also changing the open meeting law. So we're going to be lobbying them, changing the open meeting law. We're going to be lobbying them regarding HERF funds. We're going to be, these topics are related to the county, but they are not an action of this board. They are not an action of this board. It's an action of the legislature, but not an action of this board. So how do we avoid the Attorney General slapping handcuffs on us and claiming that we violated open meeting law when we want to have a discussion on lobbying strategy?
I can consult with the county attorney's office, but it seems.
But I don't want the world to know.
No, I'm just saying there seems to be a way that we can do
Yeah.
that through,
Because,
just,
and it's not that we're
setting up a
hiding
meeting.
anything, but in any kind of strategy.
No, you're going to tip
Yeah,
everybody off, and they're going to develop a counter for you before you even get up there. So the day we get there, they're, okay, here comes Antonori and Gomez and Crosby. We know exactly what they're coming up there for. We're going to just shut this down now. That's the problem. That's what we're getting at. So
I understand the concern, and I'm sure there's a way we can navigate that. I just want to.
either that, or I'm going to have to bring Bert with me everywhere I go and do executive sessions in every meeting we have with every legislator. Well, let's now enter an executive session with Mr. Fernandez and
And you just understand the problem because they don't have the same law.
They're exempt.
They're exempt from the law
They're
that they
exempt.
created. So.
Yeah, so that's the problem.
Yeah.
All right.
Mr. Chair, I have an additional comment along
Sure.
those lines, which is what I've discussed before. In my opinion, just statutorily, the county attorney has a built-in conflict of interest between the Board of Supervisors and the state attorney general, because the state attorney general's job description says they supervise the county attorneys.
That's another bill. You brought up another bill I was just talking to Bert about. Is about moving the civil division under the Board of Supervisors and allow the county attorney just to be a prosecutor, be the district attorney. So all that's been discussed as well. So, there's all these things that we have to talk about. How do we do that? Do we just do executive? But then they're going to say, we're trying to be
Too
transparent.
many executive sessions.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
So, this is the problem with the open meeting law. This is the
And people
problem.
understand that, again.
It's only supposed to protect the public from us conducting county functional
Voting.
business.
It's to
That's
keep
what
you
it's
from
for.
voting in secret.
Voting in secret or making decisions affecting the county in secret. That's what the law is designed to protect. But it is not. It has been expanded to cover.
It's like if I tell them, I found land, but I have to say it in the public, then everyone's going to go and buy the land that I want for a hospital.
or other things. Yeah, I got you.
So you'll follow up with this? Okay.
So while we're adding stuff, so these flock cameras are really starting to annoy me.
So we have,
The sheriff's office has requested to have a meeting with you to discuss the block cameras in more detail.
So I went and I've looked at other police departments, and Flock refuses to amend their contract. They are allowed to take our personal information this is persistent surveillance, and they're getting around the loophole because they aren't the government. So they're circumventing the warrant requirement for surveillance. And they're claiming that we only apply when the law enforcement agencies ask for this information. So what they've created is a private surveillance state with these cameras where they are monitoring every aspect of everybody's life and there's lawsuits flying everywhere over these cameras. Cities are getting sued, counties are getting sued, states are getting sued, and these Flock guys are just being problems, and they won't amend their thing. So, and they're allowed to go take that down and sell it and use it for, to where to put a Chick-fil-A. I'm not kidding. I just saw the latest YouTube video where Flock is selling this data to fast food franchises on where to put fast food franchises because they data all these cars that go to this restaurant also drive down here. So we need to put a restaurant. They're selling all this data. They're collecting it from the citizens, not of this county at the time, but I mean all over these other states. So I want to nip that in the bud and consider doing a resolution to ban them in Cochise County. Unless Flock agrees to amend their contract.
To a degree, within Cochise County unincorporated areas, because.
Okay, and then any municipality puts it in, we eliminate any IGA related to the courts, law enforcement, and that, and then we'll say, okay, fine, you want to do your Flock cameras? We're not going to help you with any of your stuff either. That's the game. We'll play that game. But they're bad. They're bad. I am convinced they're a bad thing. And I don't like them. I'm just saying that they're because they won't amend their contract. If Flock would say it is only going to be for the purpose of law enforcement and that limited activity, and we're only going to do it in instances where there's, so there was also, again, I shouldn't watch YouTube videos. I guess this is my problem. But there's also a case in Florida where they wrongly accused this lady of stealing an Amazon package off of somebody's porch because she had one of those Rivian Jeeps, SUVs. And the sheriff in that county said, well, there's not a lot of those around. So she was driving the green one, and the person that stole the package was driving a green SUV. So they went and looked on the Rivian cameras and saw if there was any green SUVs between the house and this area, and they found this one Rivian SUV, and they said, oh, that must be her. And they went to her house, and they freaking arrested her, only to find out it wasn't her. And they made that probable cause was solely based on the Flock camera surveillance.
I don't know.
So she's
Mr.
suing that
Chair-
county for $2.5 million, by the way, over that incident. Just so
Mr. Cherry, are you
everyone
ready
knows,
to
the liability
change
could be on
subject
us.
slightly?
Sure.
Okay, so we all talked to, I believe, Ken Bennett and a guy named Brakey about cast vote records programs, and you may recall that we sent a letter recently to the Department of Justice
Where's that
about
letter?
the EAC and so on. So I was wondering, are we interested in soliciting other counties and figuring out what their interest level is in what we pursued with the EAC or about the EAC with the Department of Justice, and also the call it the Ken Bennett program. I think it was called ABE, actually, ABE, having to do with cast vote records. So what are my colleagues' levels of interest about that or those subjects, I wonder?
We do have a work session on election verification scheduled for Thursday, December 4th, where I believe that's
Ken Bennett will be coming in for a half hour. He's going to do a half-hour presentation, public presentation, and then we're going to have a discussion with him for another half an hour on how we might implement that here in Cochise County. And
Okay, well, that's fine, and I appreciate that information, and I'll be looking forward to that December 4th meeting. What my question was
the letter.
Does the board want to solicit other county boards of supervisors about what Ken Bennett is? I haven't talked to him to see if he's gone around every place else. And the other matter of the Department of Justice and the Election Assistance Commission. So if that is a topic that we need to discuss, then that could either be put on a future agenda sometime on or about this December 4th meeting, since it's sort of about the same overall item.
How do we follow up on that letter?
I would ask the county attorney's office. We have not received a reply to my knowledge on that
Can
letter.
you read England for a reply?
Yeah.
Well,
that doesn't have anything. Well, it's definitely related, but it is other than soliciting other counties to join with us in that pursuit.
So on the EAC piece you're talking about, soliciting
Well,
other
both of
counties?
them.
Yeah.
Maybe after December 4th. We could add that as a discussion item for December
Okay.
4th.
That would be very good.
And then if you're willing to go up to Phoenix with us, the three of us can go to CSA and we can solicit every single county at CSA concerning this issue. What's
Yeah,
that?
that's like December the 12th, no,
Yeah, it's like the week after that.
December 11th.
Yeah. So if you want.
Well, that would be a wonderful thing, and I would sure like to do that if I can get surgery and get recovered by
No, we'll drag you up
do all
there.
this stuff.
We'll get an ambulance.
We'll get a Winnebago.
All right,
put you
I
in
got to
bed
be
in the back.
horizontal. That's all I ask. Thank you,
But
Mr.
yeah,
Chair.
we can bring that up. We can bring that up with CSA.
Yeah.
And because all the counties will be there, and we'll just bring it up and say, hey, here's what we're doing. You guys want to jump on and support us, or join the I don't know what you would call it, the coalition of counties in this effort. And we could do that as well the following week. So we could address that at the work session with Bennett, get the county attorney to find out where our letter's at, find out where that's at, and then we could take it up to CSA the week after.
Would that require a vote? So it would need to be a special session rather than work session?
Well, we'd have to post that as a meeting of our Board of Supervisors at this CSA thing. We all go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we put it in a public notice that there's a potential quorum at
Okay.
some events.
And that would be an extremely broad topic of, because if you're going to send us all up there, then we'd be talking everything about counties statewide. So I don't know how you'd note that.
And now we come to meeting ACO. Do they have anything?
We do.
Does ACO have anything that deals with this stuff?
Well, sure, through their election directors and reporters.
So maybe that's something to fill out.
Melissa's invited to that
Yeah.
work session, by the way, so she'll be there. So,
And then we may talk about, 'cause I'm going to be at ACO too, just talking to other counties, your election directors, right? And first, okay. I think that's it.
I'm looking, checking. There was something else I wanted to talk about. I can't remember what it is now. I forgot. My brain locked out.
Well, in the future, should we talk, maybe it's in January, or I don't know when, about health transportation, these ambulances and these helicopters? Oh, yeah.
Sounds like, I think we can bring in our health department director, because I know she's had lots of
problems. They're seeing a lot of the problems.
Yeah,
That's going to require a statutory change to
Well, that-
franchises.
Well, maybe we can set up all the deaths that has happened because of it, Because what I'm seeing in Douglas is people are waiting 8, 9, and
I dealt with this problem. And I know exactly what's going to happen. And this is the sad reality. The municipal fire districts carve out, and because they have this density of population, the cost of service is very low to them, generally. The non-municipal fire departments or ambulance services or whatever have to have a certain customer base in order to justify the cost. So what they do is they grab these big, huge areas and they get the state to approve it and say, this is your area. And then they say, if anybody comes into that area, you're diluting my customer base and therefore I no longer will provide service out there. And then you end up losing service.
well, this is an interesting issue because Elfrida and Sunnyside, because Douglas has grabbed onto their base in the annex, right?
Right.
They're thinking of merging because it's just too hard for them to be able to manage this. So maybe this would be a real good pilot kind of thing.
Nobody wants to go out. Yeah, that's the problem. The problem is that
And they do. They know if they merge, then they can be able to sustain what they do, the fire district, and they don't have an EMT yet. But I know somebody who dealt with EMTs that could talk about providing a service, an EMT or ambulance service for this new merging of these two districts. And so that's kind of like, I'm going to have a meeting with the fire districts and everybody. I mean, this is like, we are opening a can of worms.
Oh, yeah.
But it's all interrelated. Health, transportation, fire districts, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because it's not working as it is, it's only going to get worse. So we are, but
it's a problem with rural counties.
Right.
Because you have to have, in order to get an ambulance service to cover all this area, they have to have a way to make money.
Right.
So they protect that with their franchise boundaries. That's it. They say, this is our turf. And then the state gives them that license to cover that. But a lot of them, they don't expand out enough or they don't provide enough service because it's just without a huge state subsidy or federal subsidy for rural health care, which is always a battle. Rural hospitals, rural health care is just.
Well, wasn't there a lot of money in this big, beautiful bill with rural hospitals?
Yeah, the Republicans put it in there and the Democrats tried to take it out because they wanted to push the Obamacare.
So maybe this is a chance for us to just look at maybe approaching the problem in a different way, in which maybe we can make some changes that would help. I don't know. I mean, it's a possibility.
I mean, it also comes back to we are a very small county. There's not a lot of, and not a very wealthy small county. That's the other problem. We're not like we're up in Red Rocks, up in Yavapai County or whatever.
But maybe just approaching it and looking at it, and with the new port of entry, we are going to be dealing with that. I mean, this like it's all intertwined. But it might be a way to look at the issues. And I don't know. I just think if we look at it, we look at merging these two, which I think both sides want to do. We could maybe do something different.
I'm dealing with that problem too. I'll be going to a meeting Saturday night about this issue.
About the road district, about transportation.
About the fire district.
Fire district.
The mergers and stuff. So, I mean, this is an issue.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to crack that nut. I just don't understand how to fix it.
Well, I think that's a good challenge.
Study session for sure.
Yeah, it's a problem.
And maybe we can also bring it, not that CSAs are be all end all, but they can do a study statewide. We can bring it to them as a topic of concern for future study as well, and bring some data.
What I don't want to do is give them ammo to justify pushing everybody into cities.
No. That's how.
Yeah, because that's the other side of the equation, right? And then I think it was it Pima County just passed that, and they did a ballot initiative that actually did that this last election cycle.
Mr. Chair, speaking of cities, you may be aware that ambulance and trash service is a moneymaker for cities.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
At the cost of.
Because they have the density. That's the thing. They have the density to do that.
Yeah, I want to understand why Douglas can just take people to Bisbee. Why can't the city ambulance go 20 minutes to save somebody's life and take them to another hospital? So, I mean,
Well, then what I was getting at, and I'm not trying to push this idea, but if it was private, Frank and I have talked about this, years ago with the Goldwater people. If you had privatized various services that are currently covered by cities, you could expand their service. Well, look at Fry Fire. Fry Fire started out in the city of Sierra Vista, and now they're partly rural. And I'd have to really dig into it to figure out what their actual service area is. But that's just scratching the surface of privatization.
Maybe that
concludes my remarks.
is the way to go, because I know that people in Douglas are not happy with not being able to get an ambulance because of the fire department's ambulance, which only takes you to an ER clinic that takes you nowhere. So I think they'd be open for it if it means that you can get out to be able to go to a hospital. They don't care if it's private or if it's run by the government.
Well, besides, we have a county supervisors association, but there's also the League of Cities, and they like things the way they are. So, they're lobbying one way, and we'll be lobbying another way, perhaps. But I'm just exploring. I'm not soliciting a vote.
Well, maybe we go to them and start, because I know like
they don't have the financial incentive though. Back to what Tom was saying, they have that monopoly. And it is a trash and fire and all that is a moneymaker for them.
But it's not working. And so when things don't work, people don't care.
No, but they're in their little incorporated boundary. Their life is sweet and soft.
I went to city council. I mean, everyone's sitting there going, there's a problem. This is not working. The EMT service in Douglas is not working. The clinic is not working. So I think it's a good opportunity and a chance to start.
All right, we'll work, put it in there. All right, with that, our next meeting will be at 2:00 this afternoon as the jail district board to certify the jail district election. So we'll see you guys at 2:00.